Live now.
Hey, you guys, what's up? What's up? Welcome to the Love and Pain podcast, where the Love Doctor and I talk about love, relationships, and everything in between. I'm your resident single lady advisor, Pain, who is an experienced single lady on a quest for balance. And this is the Love Doctor. Take it away, Chuck.
What's happening, everybody? Like she said before, I'm a changed man. I was out here thinking I was living my best life, but little did I know there was bigger horizons that I had to follow, and there were things that I needed to build. So I had to change and get my life right and start doing my grown man thing. And now I'm happily married, but I am a former cheater, serious cheater to the 10th power. And we're going to go through these topics today.
Oh my God, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, but hey, look, that's the good thing about when you're older and you've experienced life. I ain't got nothing to hide. I'm not ashamed of anything that I've done because, you know what I'm saying? I've held myself accountable for my actions and I changed. So I'm not the same person. So the things that I tell everybody on here is I'm trying to just tell you of the traps that I used to pull on people. And, like I said, I might have pulled on a couple people that might be listening, and I apologize. Like I said, I was a very loving person, but I just wanted to love everybody. I was a people pleaser, but at the same time, pleasing everybody out here in the streets, I was hurting the person that I was supposed to be protecting at home because I was out here trying to please people, trying to be loyal to my word and things like that. But at the end of the day, like I said, you got to be loyal to yourself and your situation.
Wow. You're right, man. You're right. Awesome. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe and please hit that notification bell so that you can stay up to date on all new content we release. Chuck has been killing it on the YouTube channel, man. You've been doing your thing on there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. We, like I said, actually just today, we got the YouTube partnership approval, and it's the first level of approving for monetization because we got the 500 subscribers, and now we're up to almost 700 subscribers right now. It's like 670, I think. And you have to have like over 3,000 watch hours for the first tier, but we're like at 6,000 watch hours because, like I said. We're not only are we doing the show, we're also doing reactions to the hottest news topics, and we break it all down for you. So make sure you like and subscribe so you could just see, all the different things that are happening, and I'll break it down for you on that.
And I came across some of yours, and you do break it down, especially about that Fanny situation. What's going on with that?
Right now, the judge is actually going over the situation, and they're going to make a ruling within the next week or so. Like I said, it's such a preponderance of evidence against her. It'd be hard pressed for her to stay on. I mean, because like I said, most of the evidence, like I said, they can't prove it because it's circumstantial, but you can be proved. It's up to whoever, the jury or the judge, to decide and to interpret all the evidence. And find out, what's common sense and what's not. And, we could do the math here. We can do the adding and subtracting. Come on, man. They was going some grimy stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. Like I said, I'm a brother. I love black women and black men. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? I love my brothers and sisters. But in this situation, yeah, they was on some grimy stuff.
Oh man. So thank you for sharing. I will keep looking at it. The only reason why I even pay attention is because of you. I would not have watched that if it wasn't for you. But
okay.
How was your weekend? What did you get into?
My weekend was great. I just watched basketball. I just kind of chilled out. I was on the computer. Like I said, doing the YouTube thing is really like a full-time job. So I've been, doing some research, doing some posting, and I've been just kind of working. So that's all I've been basically doing lately here.
You've been grinding, man. What's the secret? How can we learn to grind like you? Like I'm trying to put me on game, Chuck.
Man, look, just don't give up. Just look, you got your eye on the prize. Don't let nothing stop you. And you got to remember too that you are going to have a lot of friends, and family that will support you, but then there are a lot that don't. A lot of people don't want to succeed. They don't want to see you succeed because you came from the same pool as them, and thinking outside the box. People don't like that. They want you to stay in the box with them. And I'm always the person that's been away from the box. I ain't never drank or smoked. You guys, anybody, they'd be lying if they say I ever did. I've always just been my own person, and I've always thought differently than most of the people that were around me. And I was in my own separate lane, and I'm comfortable in my lane.
And you are right about that. When people see you going outside of the guidelines or the lines that other people put up, they will straight hate. And you know what? A lot of times it's not coming from a place of I'm trying to oppress you. Some of them don't even realize that they're hating because they're just so used to that lifestyle or that thought, that mentality of thinking. So in their mind, they're trying to help you and save you when they realize that they wouldn't be able to do what you can do. So they're like, oh, you're going to fail because if I tried it, I'd fail. So I know you're going to fail. So I applaud you, man. I've been watching you grind over these. Well, we've known each other for over 10 years or something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah.
And he does not smoke or drink. At least I've never seen him do it. So I can attest to that. Yeah, right.
Right. And in just that little 10-year time period, my life has went up and down. When you met me, I had my shop over there in Crossroads Plaza. I had my computer shop, and it was at the end of the internet. It was at the end of computers for the common person. So business started declining at the time. So I actually, I had to leave that shop. I had to start working out of the house. Then I went to film school. Reinvented my thing in film school. I had you in one of my films, along with my boy Thomas right here. He just commented, my dark-skinned twin. but I mean, that's life. Life is a journey. And like I said, whatever situation that I'm in, I'm never going to give up. And I'm always going to stay positive. And we're going to just try to just grind our way out of it.
That's what's up. Well, this weekend, Paul said this is a heavy subject. We have to do another just a regular podcast where it's just not just about relationships, because there's just so much we can talk about. Just what you just said, Right. So we gotta talk about that. But this weekend, I volunteered. I'm still hating on the palm trees because
you don't like when I post when I'm with palm trees.
hey, at least he owns up to his hateration. Thank you, sir. Oh, look at they're so nice. So this weekend, I attended Eastmore Academy's The Wiz. That was my alma mater. 20 years ago, we did the play The Wiz. Have you seen the play or the movie?
I've seen the movie, of course. Yeah, that's a classic.
The movie, yeah. So we actually did the play version of the movie. And Mr. Harms or Seth Harms, he's ran it for the past 20 years. And it's always been one of the top theater productions at the high school. And I went and I volunteered my time. And then I was like, oh man, I forgot how much I don't like kids. But overall, it was awesome. And just remind you, we need to do more for the community, because I think we do a lot for the community. But it's important that if you're not doing anything for the community, somehow, some way, try to support. If that's giving back services, if that's buying from them, if that's visiting them at their place, because there's so much talent. These kids have so much hidden talent, and some of them come from the roughest homes. And that's their only outlet. So please support. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Anything else in news that you're following besides the Fanny? I know there's something else you got to be watching.
I mean, that's the big thing that's going on. There's always other little things that are happening, but that's the big news topic that's going on. Shannon Sharpe, they just showed him with some feminine looking clothes and purse that he had on, and I mean, he's getting ripped on social media for that. I even did a little piece on his feminization, that you could check out on this YouTube channel. Remember, everybody, please like and subscribe to this page if you haven't already done so. So we can just keep on bringing you these topics.
I saw that, and I don't know, if that's who he is, then he should just come out and just be like, this is me. Right. This is just me. Don't hide it. But it is what it is. So let's jump on today's topic, which is, is there life after cheating? It's a hot topic.
Yes, it is. And this is something that really touched close to my heart, because like I said, as being a former cheater, when I got married previously, this is my second marriage. on my first marriage, I was very young. I was in my late 20s when I first got married. And I basically took the same format that my dad had in his marriage with my stepmother. I never went in with the purpose of being loyal to just one person. I just wanted to have my good woman at home. And then, I was going to still have sex with anybody I wanted to have sex with. That was what I went into. That was my mentality in my late 20s. I just thought that, hey, my dad did it, so I was going to do it. That was just, he married somebody that was older than him. She was older than me. And, and like I said, and it was because I was not satisfied with that person that I was with, so that's kind of why I cheated. So that's why I say I apologize to some of the, the females that I did interact with when I was married, knowing I was in the wrong, but that was just, my mentality at the time. So, but like I said, and some people stay in that zone the rest of their life. They might be doing that now, but anyway, okay. And another thing about that too, just before I break it down, back then you could get away with cheating a lot easier than you can get away with it right now. Like I said, my dad used to involve me in his schemes. And I mean, back then, remember, you didn't have cell phones. So he would take me with him. And when he left the house, he would have the whole time. And then by the time he got back, he could make up an excuse to why he took so long to come back home. Nowadays, it's got to be real time. Somebody can hit you up wherever you at. And you got to explain what's going on. With your location services, somebody could pop up on you. So, hey, it's not as easy to get away with cheating if you are a cheater that's trying to get away with it than it was, back in the day, during our parents' days. You know what I'm saying? So it's really hard with this day of information. But okay, so we're gonna go into on the show. We're gonna go into a whole bunch of different formats of cheating, and you might find out that you might be a cheater and you didn't even know it when we go through this. Okay, now there are under that umbrella of cheating, there's so many different topics. Like, okay, there's emotional cheating, there's physical cheating, financial cheating, there's cyber cheating / sexting cheating. There's different things that we're not going to get into, like fetish cheating, like when people like to look at people's feet and all that stuff. No, we ain't gonna go into that today. We just gonna go into the major categories of cheating. Okay, so the first, what'd you say?
I am intrigued.
Okay, so the first category we're gonna go in, and this is what we're gonna do. And I want everybody out there that's watching, I want y'all to weigh in on this, and y'all tell us how you feel about this. And there's different forms of cheating, and we're gonna actually find out if these are cheats that are that are just that you have to break up on. There's no, you know what I'm saying? You have to break up. Either you break up or you're not. Okay, the first one, emotional cheating. Okay, let's explain what emotional cheating is, and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Emotional cheating is romantic adultery, also known as affair of the heart. It happens when a person has a solid emotional bond with someone who isn't their partner. Okay, and it says additionally, it is devoid of a sexual affair, yet it might lead up to sexual matters in the future. So this is somebody that, maybe your partner might work a lot and you might have some type of emptiness or whatever, and you're talking to somebody that might be giving you some type of reinforcement. They might be telling them that they love you, that you're beautiful. They're giving you something emotionally that your spouse or your boyfriend, partner, or whatever the case may be, may not be giving you. So this is really like, this is something that sets up the foundation for a long-term type of affair that could happen when you're emotionally tied with somebody. Even worse than, I think, physically cheating, because like I told you before, I was a former cheater, and all the people that I had sex with, I had no emotional ties with them. But in this situation, you can be emotionally tied to someone and not even have the physical. And I think, like I said, when you have somebody's mind wrapped up in your emotions, you can manipulate the situation any way possible, because it's really hard to be emotionally attached to two different people at the same time. One person is going to be the main person of your source of emotions over the other. There's no way that it's ever going to be completely even on that level. So tell me, have you ever had an emotional relationship with someone that you haven't had sex with, and and how deep did it go?
I'm trying to think of it. Now, I will say, and I will be completely honest, and you can believe it or not, as an adult, I've never cheated. Physically, and I'm trying to think. I think it could, now that you say that, it could have been seen as emotional cheating, but I ended up breaking up with him. Stop telling him Pops, Dr. Love. I ended up breaking up with him afterwards just because I saw that he wasn't the one for me. So is emotional cheating, let me ask you this, is emotional cheating something that happens over a period of time, or is it like, hey, we have a conversation, we really connected, and like, wow, I'm feeling you, you feeling me, and then we no longer see each other again? Is there a time frame attached to it?
I think like when it comes to emotional cheating, there's always something that is empty that is from one person. I can't get into emotional relationship with somebody that I'm not really like feeling. There has to be something that's there, something that I'm not getting from my main partner. Because when you get into these type of relationships, I mean, you know, you're spending time like talking to them. You sending like sweet nothings and things like that. And these are, yeah, and this is really a bad thing to really get into, and it's harder to get out of because these are actually true feelings that you have between each other. Because like I said, the physical is really just a affirmation of all the emotions and all that, and it comes together. But emotions, like, I mean, the emotions can cause you to make serious mistakes and cause you to do things that you may not do logically. Let me say, he said emotional cheating is more intimate than actual sexual cheating, and it is, because it's your mind. Remember, your mind is your biggest sex organ. It's not your physical tools. It's in your mind. So you might be having sex with your person and be thinking about somebody else. I mean, that's how deep it can go. So this is a dangerous type of thing that you can play. And if you have an emotional affair, for me, I think this is one of the worst things. And I would say that that's a deal breaker for me. If I was with somebody and they was having an emotional affair, unless I'm the most culpable person in like I'm neglecting the person, or my work has caused me to be gone for a long time, like I said before, and I'm leaving this person alone and with no with no emotions themselves. Because some people, I'm telling you, I've talked to people and I'm telling they live in harsh lives, man. Like, they just, their husband just goes to work and comes back. There's no real solid connection. And they get on these websites and stuff like that. They looking for that. They looking for the things that they're not getting because, like I said, they got the breadwinner, but that's all he's bringing is the bread. Like I said, there's so many different levels to being in love and being in a relationship that, it's hard to fulfill everything. So, this is one of the things that, I think that for me, it would be a deal breaker if I was with somebody and they had an emotional affair with someone else.
So you would divorce over an emotional affair?
I think so. I'm not gonna lie. If you're attached to somebody, and how deep does that emotion go? It might be like to a love thing or whatever the case may be. If somebody can come in there and swoop your emotions up and we're supposed to be together, then our thing ain't as strong as we think it is. So me personally, if you feel that if you got somebody out here that's giving you what I'm not giving you, then do your thing. Yeah, I don't, me personally, I'm not with that.
So do you feel like the emotional is greater than physical? Like if it's physical cheating, you can still make it work?
We're not to the physical part yet.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead.
I just wanted to categorize. What we get into that one?
I'm sorry, but we know emotional something, because I'm trying to think, like, I don't know that I would necessarily call the marriage over emotional cheating. It would, like you said, it would depend. Like, what is the reason? I think cheating all the way around is more of a depending type of thing. Like, and I think a lot of people get married just for the sake of saying that they're married, and they don't really wait. You're in your 50s and you found someone who who matched you. Can you imagine if you didn't meet anyone? And, you know, luckily, I mean, I don't know that men search for marriage as much as women search for marriage, but it'd be kind of hard for some women or some men who actually, if they want to get married, to just wait until later in life to find someone. So a lot of people jump into those relationships and they are lacking someone. But I don't know if emotional cheating is great enough for divorce. I mean, that is a conundrum. I don't know that I could really. I would need to see what is it about her.
But see, this is the thing. I've been on the other side of that game. Like I said, I'm telling you, I've been in relationships with people, like especially when I was a young man, like early 20s. I was messing with some married woman, right? And man, she was, like I said, she was emotionally tied to me. You know, I don't know if it's true or not, but you know, this is what she was telling me. But I was like, look, you know, you can't have sex with your husband a week before me and you have sex. You know what I'm saying? Don't give your husband nothing. You know what I'm saying? And she cut her husband off. That's what she told me. She probably was running game. She was a little older than me. But even for her to go there and say that, you got your husband out there looking like a sucker, man.
That is like, true.
Man, hell, look, that's why I say a lot of the stuff that I've been through, like I've seen it from both sides. So I know how this can go. If somebody is emotionally has your woman emotionally attached, then they can manipulate her and she could do whatever. She could be sending her money. She could do whatever. I'm telling you, you could be manipulated in so many different ways because I've done it. I know how it goes, you know, and it like a time, it's a lot of ego involved in this. And a guy's like, yeah, you know, I could do this to your man. I mean, to your woman or whatever the case may be. And you can't have your man out here looking like a sucker, man. Plain and simple. So no, that's absolutely a deal breaker.
So some of these women that you had the emotional affair with, were they always physical and emotional? Have you ever had just an emotional affair with a woman, with one of these married women, and it was not physical at all?
I have later on. I've done that because it was long distance. So, you know, I've talked to people that, you know, and it's always like people normally come to me for advice because I've always normally, even though I didn't follow my own advice, I've always given very good advice because I knew what was supposed to be done, but I just didn't do it myself. But I would always like, you know, because, you know, if I cared about the person, it might be somebody that I slept with before or whatever the case may be. And then now they're in a relationship, they're having problems. Now they're reaching out to me and I'm just telling them like, you know, what they should do, but they still have some emotional ties with me. But so, you know, that's just a touchy subject. I can't do it. If you out there, if you that weak that you could be emotionally involved with some other dude, hey.
But 9 out of 10, like she could be having if she's not physical, she could be having a whole emotional affair and you don't even know it because it's, you know, it's just emotions. It's just, hey, every now and then you text and, oh, you know, I really wish I would have picked this dude, but you know, here we are. So you won't really know it's emotional until she slips up, right? Because she's not, you know, especially if she's not sleeping with them or having sex, you won't know.
No, your patterns can change. Like when you're in an emotional relationship, you might be texting late at night. You know, you might not be as the person you might not be as receiving to your husband because you're thinking about somebody else. And a lot of times emotions can just be like a fantasy because you might think that, hey, you know, and like I said, me from the other side, I didn't have to do none of the hard work. You know, the husband was providing for. They was, you know, he had the crib and all that, and whatever the kids they had or whatever. All I had to do was do the fun part. You know what I'm saying? So I had the easy job. You know, and that's not good. That's not good at all. You should reward the person that's putting in all the work and that's there for you, and whatever the case may be. You know what type of person that you marry. I mean, you got to take the good and the bad. So yeah, for me, if you're married, a deal breaker. Yeah, that's a deal breaker for me. She wasn't running game. You know how we used to do. Yeah.
Thank God for growth, right? So is a total no. But if she identified, hey, you don't love me like you used to, and she hasn't changed, could you make it work at that point?
Hold on, say that one more time.
So if the reason for her emotional affair is because you started slacking
Mm-hmm.
and she hasn't, are you more willing to work it out then?
I
Because
think,
emotional affairs just can be just a fantasy. Fantasy
right.
could be.
Yeah, that's true. Now, again, now I'm speaking in terms of if you're married. Now, if you guys are just in a relationship and you're not married, now you haven't sealed the deal and all that. So a lot of people it's just human nature that they may have somebody that they may have ties to just in case it doesn't work or whatever the case may be, because you haven't completely fully committed to the situation. So if this happens before marriage, then it's something that probably you could come back from it, depending on how serious you guys are and the type of commitment that you have. But after you get married and then you go out and have an emotional ties with somebody else, no. But beforehand, yeah, it's you need to change your actions before you get married, if that's the case. But after you get married, no, there's no emotional ties to anyone.
Okay.
If
All
you
right.
if you start trending towards that way, then I ain't no running the middle. Hey, if you're in the middle of the road, I'm gonna push you to the other side.
Yeah, I can see that. I've met some married men who have some emotional relationships. So let's see. It's the mental connection that bonds more than physical. So women are more mentally stimulated and enjoy it. I don't know why guys always be creating these odd rules that women have that men don't. Women like sex. Women like mindless, unconnected sex, and men also like to be mentally stimulated. You know how many dudes in my inbox don't be trying to smash? They just need someone to talk to. I think it's just a human thing. If you're lacking something from your relationship, because people get tied up in life. If before when you were dating, maybe you didn't work as much. So you had time to sit here and talk and be flirty all the time. But now you got a job that requires more of you. Now you're not here as much. Now you're traveling a lot more. People get lonely. It's people like connection. So that's why I don't know that it would be a hard no. It would depend on the reasoning. But if I'm always here and available, and I give you that room and that space to talk, and you're not trying to utilize that, then yeah, you're not into me like I think you are, and I think we need to end the relationship. So I can agree with
that. Okay.
So what's your next cheating?
So okay. So what's your answer? And I want to hear everybody in the comment. I want y'all to comment. So is emotional cheating a deal breaker for you guys that are in the comments? We need to get a poll going or whatever here. And what's your answer, Champagne?
It depends. I don't have a yes or no. It would depend.
Yeah. Okay. So it's on the situation.
It's conditional. Yeah, it's conditional because especially depending on when you got married to this individual. If y'all been together for like 20 years, it's tough. It's tough to kind of keep that heat going for 20 years. So like Kendall said, it would really depend. It would really depend on the reasoning for me. What about you're a stout no. You're like, no, fuck it. It don't matter. No.
Right. No. Okay. I'm not on that. Because like I told you. Yeah,
he
said hell yeah. Like I said, I just been on the other side and I just seen how that can go. And like I said, it's like, again, the male ego is kind of is a little fragile here sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, back in the day on my first marriage, I didn't care. But like I said, as we get older and we start to appreciate and we put our all into the situation, then, if I'm putting my 100% effort into it and then you're out here having emotional affairs with people and things like that, that's totally unacceptable.
I can get it. We're saying the same thing. Like if right. I'm doing, but if I'm slacking,
right.
Go ahead.
Okay. Man. All right. Okay. So let's go into the next. Let's go into the next category of cheating. Okay. And this is considered micro cheating. And what micro cheating is, it's a sort of cheating that's difficult to detect. It is frequently carried out as part of your partner's daily routine and can progress to emotional cheating. It entails minor deeds that straddle boundaries between what is honest and what is not, such as having like a work boyfriend or girlfriend. When I worked at the post office, I worked there for a little while, and the people had like their work wives. They was married at home, and you actually spending more quality time with people at work than you are at home.
You
so
are.
if you're working on the same, if you working the same shift, you spending like, and you know, at the post office, like it was like 6 days a week. You spending 60 hours of your time. So during that time, then you can get into different conversations. Things can go deep. And it's just a natural inclination if you're dealing with a good person that you might have, you might have some sort of feelings for this person. Not to say that it might be sexual, but since you guys are spending so much time with each other, then this thing can actually evolve into something much more deeper. And I've seen that a lot, like I said, by working at the post office. And different other little spots that I've seen, but primarily at the post office, because it's like I said, you're just standing there working mail and you're just sitting there talking to that person the whole time. So it's almost like being in jail, where you're like, you just house with somebody, a lot of times, especially like, if you're a mail clerk or if you're a mail handler, then you're going to be working a machine pretty much all day together. So and you going to lunch at the same time and everything. So and in this situation, and I'm gonna just give y'all an example, like my ex-wife or whatever, I keep bringing her up, and listen, I've been divorced for a long time, so I don't care right now. I'm gonna just put it out there. All right.
You don't care.
Anyway, this one time, okay, my ex-wife used to work at a rec center, right? So so one day, like, I drove down and she was at this rec center, her car was parked out there, right? So then I was like, man, was she at that rec center? She working out or something? So then I called her, right? And I'm like, you working out? Like, you should have told me. I could have got it in with you. And then she was like, no, I'm out here. I'm doing this paperwork with Marvin or whatever. I don't know his name was Marvin. It was like, I forget whatever the dude's name was. But they was sitting up there. They was doing some type of paperwork, what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. But that was suspect, man. I think he was hitting that. You know what I'm saying? For real.
So I think he was wait. I think I missed something. So she was at the rec center.
She was at the rec center. It was like it was almost closing time. Like I said, it was like 8:30. It was dark. I seen her car up there, and I was like, "Damn, what's going?" I thought she was working out, but she's in the office doing paperwork with one of the head dudes over there, and I was like, and when I reflected on it, I'm like, but remember, at this time, I wasn't pressed because I was doing my thing too. But I think, like I said, with her working at the rec center and with this guy, I think they had something going on. I really do.
Because they were doing, and I'm trying to see each other. Like, I want to see each other.
Wait a minute. Let's do the math here. For one, she didn't work at that recreation center. So why would she be up there anyway, helping some dude do paperwork at like 8:30 at night? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Ain't nobody stupid. That was like out. That was not a good look at best.
So, but she works at rec centers.
Yeah, she worked at a rec center. Right.
Okay. Now, outside of that.
But it was not at that rec center, though. Say it again.
Right. Well, yeah, but they always go to different rec centers. Like, it could depend on whatever may be the case. They visit other rec centers. Well, outside of that scenario, though, was there some other things that you saw that you felt like there was something going on?
I mean, I'm invested now. She ain't never stayed up there working paperwork with nobody else. So, I mean, come on. Now, ain't nobody stupid here. Like, sometimes you have to actually see what's right in front of you, because some of this stuff hides in plain sight. It's right in front of you. When stuff don't add up, she had no business being there. So there was something else going on. She liked this guy or something. Trust me. It wasn't random, like, don't nobody help nobody else do no paperwork. Trust me. You just got to look at what's in front of you.
People do paperwork all the time.
Okay, that's you. Again, you're not married and you weren't her. Okay. When she does stuff, she does things for a reason. Trust me. She's calculated. I know her. So I'm telling you, it was something going on there. Like I said, you're so friendly. You're so friendly and bubbly.
Well, I'm just saying it wasn't this because you were cheating and you were projecting on it. Must have been some complex. You never know.
At the time, listen. No, at the time I was just like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna go home and watch the game, whatever. Okay. But when I thought back on it, I'm like, hold on, she ain't never did that before. Like, stop playing. It was something else going on.
You know her better than me. You know her better than me.
Yeah, trust me. She underhanded. She was underhanded. They were smashing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So for now, like I said, for something like this, where somebody is actually they work with somebody and things like that, and they might have lunch together during work time or stuff like that. I can't really say on this one that it's a deal breaker because it's a circumstantial type thing. But if it crosses the line to turn into an emotional relationship or whatever, and it goes to the next level to where he's asking different stuff and and it just crosses the line, then no. But if it's just something like this that's actually like circumstantial, then I can't say that that's a deal breaker. But I will tell her, hey, watch yourself.
Oh wow. Yeah, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Like if I'm with you, I trust your decision making skills. I don't have time to be that detailed when it comes to tea. There's some women who they don't like it when their man buys dinner for somebody says Chuck projecting. There are some women who don't like their men to buy lunch for women. I don't have it. I don't really like it's I don't have that type of issue. I'm not concerned about that. If I'm with you, I trust you. Now, if you're out here doing dirt, it's gonna come out in the light. It's gonna come out in the light. I don't really care. And then life is so boring for you to only just suction to one person for each and all of your every needs. Like you need other people, you need friends, like you need people to have shared interests with, regardless of their gender. So I you go to lunch with your work friend. I'm not excited for you to call her your work wife, but it's not enough for me to be like divorce. It's kind of like duly noted. Keep the note, and then if something pops up, that's cool. But you could be very well like accusing someone and it could be harmless. It could be absolutely
but Champagne, this is the thing. Yeah. You're so liberal and free spirited about everything. Like you could kick it with your homies and this and that. Mm-hmm. At some point in time, you have to prioritize who you're with. You can't just be sitting up there kicking it with people freely without thinking about the person that you're in a relationship with. Plain and simple. You have to think about them.
Lunch with someone else is not. It doesn't mean that you're not prioritizing.
Right. That's what I'm saying. During a work environment, right. But if you just have a general
friend outside of me is also you not prioritizing me. So prioritizing to me is you put me first, right? You're putting me first.
Right. And you put that person first, right? And that person first. Absolutely.
Right. So you're putting me first. So as long as it's not like, oh, babe, I would love to come and support you at your game, but my work wife got something going on. I gotta go hang out with that. If it's that, to me is where it's like, wait a minute, right? Got questions. Your work friend has a wait, like it's that, but you having a life outside of me, especially when you had and again, this is not just me being a liberal me. This is me talking to multiple people and people from all spaces. You're going to have a life outside. You're going to have things that you're going to do. I don't know that I would really care that you have that going on, as long as it's not something that's detrimental. Have your fun. Like, what did you go to? Did you go to the strip club for your bachelor's party or your bachelor shindig? What do they call it? A bachelor party? Is that what they call it?
If anybody knows me, they know I don't spend money just looking at something. Just because you got a body, you think I'm gonna make it rain for you? No.
I mean, but if they bought one for you and you didn't spend no money, you wouldn't go there?
No, just contribute that towards the hotel or something.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a lot of guys.
That type of thing just don't move me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like strippers and all that. I've had women that have stripper bodies. I don't need to go to the strip club. I got the strip club at the crib.
A lot of guys who have strippers for their bachelor party, right? But they find it weird that you have a work wife.
Right. You say that again?
You have guys who have strippers or go to the strip club and they're married, or they have parties where they're strippers.
Well, I know people do that.
Which is like they're naked, right?
Right. Yeah, people do that.
Right?
Listen, if that's what you do, that's what you do. I'm just saying, for me, that don't turn me on. I don't just window shop. If you bust down all your stuff, I want to hit it. I don't want to just look at it. So what am I gonna waste my time at the strip club for? Like, come
Did
on,
you
man.
don't go to
Like,
strip
it's
club?
a waste of my time.
You've
That's
never
just like me
do
going.
I mean,
I'm just going to the mall. I just want to look at everything in the window. You know, I ain't buying nothing. You know what I'm
you
saying?
don't
Like, that's a
window
waste of my
shop?
time. No, for what?
I
It's
don't
a
know.
waste of
I like the
time.
window
I
shop.
might listen. If I might compare prices online, and then like, you know, because I'm trying to buy something eventually, but I ain't gonna just look like, oh, let me see what the price of this is. I'm not never gonna buy it, but I just want to see what it costs. No, it's a waste of my time.
I love window shopping. Mad at
No,
me?
I mean, like I said, two different mentalities.
That's fair.
Okay, she said no such thing as a work wife, one wife. Period. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, are you communicating with your mate that you have? Like, yeah, absolutely. If you, and this is where, and I'm glad you bring that up, Thomas. This is where I would have an issue. If you feel like you have to hide it from me, if it's a secret, then my suspicion is going off, because it's like, especially with the type of individual I am, if you feel like you got to hide it, that to me lets me know that there's something going on. We could talk about like, oh yeah, you know, I went out to lunch, or, you know, okay, that's cool. How's she doing? But if you feel like you can't tell me stuff, that's when I feel like it's suspect. If you can't show me your text, that's when I feel like it's suspect.
Okay. So let's go on to our next category under cheating. And the next one is something that our parents never had to deal with because they didn't have it back then. And that's cyber cheating or sexting. And what that is, it's a it's a form of cheating that involves like it might be a website. You might be sending text pictures to somebody, and you guys are you know, having an affair online, and some people might even play it out and have, you know, sex with that. And some people look at it as just, you know, some type of porno type thing or whatever the case may be. But people send it text back and forth. I had somebody very close to me recently. They found out that somebody that they was close with was having a cyber affair for the last couple years. They never seen the person, but they was sending titty pics. They was, you know, just saying online. They never even met them, but they was carrying on like this for 2 years, and he ended up having to break up with them. And you know, and that's what it is. But in this situation, like I said, man, that's like, I think like if you either have people that are loyal or people that are going to be cheaters, and in this form, like this is like another vessel that you could cheat without actually cheating. So it's still cheating to me because you're sending pictures and you're carrying on, but you're just not touching the person. So that's almost goes with like an emotional relationship to where you got some type of side dude that, you know, he's sending you dick pics, you sending him titty pics and butt pics or whatever the case may be. And I mean, if we're together, why would you be sending out texts like that? That you know, come on now. That's
you don't
not
do
good.
it for no more. They don't do it for you. You've been together for so long. You don't do it for you. I'm with you. I don't think it's okay at all. I had some pussy prices. I would. That's one of those things where if you can't show it to me, then you're cheating. So
yeah.
Would I divorce? Probably not. I probably wouldn't divorce. I'm gonna be mad.
You ain't gonna divorce over nothing. What? Man,
I mean, I'm going to divorce, but like I said, it would depend. Like the first one for emotional cheating, it would truly depend. Like if that's where you really want to be, like you said, if that's where you really want to be, if I don't do it for you, let's get divorced. That's cool. But if it's a situation that it's rectifiable and I was at fault, because there are some women who will do everything to get the ring. They will pretend like they're really interested in you. They will have sex with you at a moment's notice. They will do all of these things, and then they get married. And then after marriage, it's just like, whew, you know, she don't talk to you the same anymore, and vice versa, men as well. He don't talk to you the same. And you know, people are humans. They're human beings, and you know, we weren't put on this earth to be alone. People like that attachment. They like to talk. They like to be engaging to other people. And if it's a period where I'm not doing anything that I used to do, and vice versa, you're in trouble. And not even just the normal of, you know, you can't be as new as you were when you first dated, right? The new car smell is eventually going to go away. You can keep the car up. It can always be clean. You can Febreze that bitch. Like, it'll always be nice, but it will never smell new again. So I get that. But if it's to the point of where, you know, the car is junky, you got spills all over, like you're just not upkeeping at all, you know, it's hard. But people get married to people who they are like, this is someone that I would want to be with forever. It's just this little part is missing. So that's why for me, cheating is not automatically a no in the emotional aspect. Texting, I would not be okay with that because it's not cool. It's not cool. I never thought of it necessarily as cheating, but I guess you could say it's a form of cheating. My old-fashioned cheating is mainly emotional and physical. If you sleep with this person or you over here calling each other baby and I love you and shit like that, that to me is like, oh, that's cheating. Text is just like, it's not cool. That's not, like you would say, that's not a good look. That's not a good look. If someone else were to see that or someone else knows that you're doing it, you make me look like a fool out here. It's not a good look.
That's right.
So but I just don't know that I would divorce. I feel like marriage is like, I feel like divorce is for serious stuff. Like if you guys realize that you're not compatible, you know, you probably like in the beginning was so sex focused and then you're like, oh shit, this dude hates everything about me. He only likes my vagina. That might be a reason for it to divorce, but there's going to be ups and downs in marriages. There's going to be lows. There's going to be, especially when you're talking about 10, 20 years of not being with someone. It's hard. It's really hard to make it, especially when you have social media. Do you view bro friend or BFF as cheating?
Like, does she mean like we having somebody that we grew up with, or somebody that one of our boys chilling?
Like a friend of the opposite sex? No, I don't view that as cheating. If that's what you mean, Bijou, you gotta call it out for me. I'm a little remedial sometimes.
Yeah, we need some clarity on that one.
I need some clarity because I'll give it to you. I just look at humans. Humans are not perfect, and I think a lot of people put a lot of pressure on humans to be perfect, and we're going to make mistakes. But it depends on, like, is that an intentional mistake? It's emotional cheating. Oh, you feel like it's emotional cheating? I don't think so. Like if they were there before, that's cool. You know, I don't have a big deal with it. If it's a new friend. Like you're like, oh, I gotta go hang out with my friend Tisha, and I've never heard this bitch before. I've never seen her. You've never talked about Tisha in the 10 years that I've dated with you. Or I've got questions. That sounds a little weird to me that you got a new best friend. No new friends.
But again, like I said, you have to look at the relationship as the relationship is comes first. So if you do anything against that, then yeah, if you're dishonest or whatever the case may be, then it definitely is cheating. You shouldn't be giving nobody your emotions. You shouldn't be giving anybody your time. The relationship is the relationship, and really it's what you make of it as well. Because in this time, like I said before, dysfunction is the new normal. So we have people that do, that have open relationships. There's all kinds of things that people do nowadays that's not traditional. And that's the only way that it can work. Like a lot of people, they'll let their man have different women or whatever the case may be, because they know he's not going to be a faithful person. And so that's the only way that he could go out and play and still, you guys can stay together and keep the family together, because, he's not going to be loyal to your vagina. And that's what a lot of things. That's what this is happening a lot more than it used to happen. This is like
how the new. You say that? A lot of people can talk about how their parents had cheated. Their dads got different families. How many of us dads got like 4 different baby mamas? A lot of us, like dudes, cheated a lot back then.
Yeah, so my dad didn't have babies. Yeah, he didn't have babies by the same woman. Me neither.
Right, there's a whole bunch. Dudes were cheating,
but it wasn't because that wasn't as a result of cheating, though. But I'm just saying.
But a lot of guys can't be faithful. They don't want to be with just one woman based on some of our parentage. So I think that as in marriage is over everyone. I mean, yeah, your marriage comes first over everyone. I think that's something that you identify before you get married. I think people get married and then want to have a conversation. And that's where people fuck up. Have those conversations before you get married, because like there's some guys out there who like, yeah, I don't have a problem with those opposite sex friends. Tell us about that dog you had, Pain. My dog. Does he mean like the guy I dated that was rude or who cheated on me or something like that?
I think he's talking about your friend or whatever the case may be that you had. I think that's what
there's so many things that were, but but like a lot of like back in the day, guys were cheating left and right. Lighten up if you trust your man, sis. I trust him. Like I chose him. I trust him. You know, I trust. I allow you to fuck up. Because then the other opposite, the other extreme of that is you go into your relationship and you never trust him. No matter what he says, oh, this dude is lying. You're going to the store. All right, nigga. Like that's like the other opposite. So I'm not an idiot, but I'm not going to sit here and I want him to know that I trust him and I trust his thought process. But back to what I was saying. A lot of parents back in the day, they were cheating and they have cheating. Your offsprings have seen your dad cheat or your dad have multiple women. So in your mind, you're like, okay, well, men can't be faithful because your father, who was the first man in your life, couldn't be faithful. So now the thought process is, okay, since my man's going to cheat anyway, let me make it okay that okay for him to step out. And I think a lot more women are doing that. They're being okay with cheating because they feel like men can't be faithful. And I think that's a great question. Can men be faithful?
Yes. Come on now. Listen, man. This whole cheating thing is a human problem. It's not just male or female. If you're a shady person, then you're not going to be faithful to your relationship. It's how you do business. It's a relationship. Like I said, they always have polls on who cheats more of this person, but you can't just make a poll on that because people aren't going to be honest about it. But again, some people are just dishonest people to begin with. And they will cheat on you. So that's just part of the process. So I mean, you have to be able to take chances if you want to gain something that's more beneficial to your life. So yeah, I mean, that's crazy. Okay, so listen, let's go to the last topic. I had a comment on there from YouTube.
Is there life after cheating, married or not? Cheat back, then think about the topic question. Some women do that. Some women are just like, oh, I see what I don't want to say women because I do agree with you, Chuck. I don't think it's necessarily a gender thing. I think women are more vocal about it than men are. Most men are egos. A lot of men aren't going to really admit that their woman cheated on them like that because then it shows that they were deficient in some way, which is not the case. I think more women are vocal. Relationships are a joke. It's all business. Now the world is over-sexualized. People cheat with porn and stop having sex with the spouses.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah. Okay. So now let's go into, and this is where a lot of women have issues with this part because this is part of their security that we want to go into. But this is the last topic we're going to be able to go into today. Financial infidelity, financial cheating. And what this is this financial infidelity in a relationship happens when one partner lies about their expenditure and or income. They could be lying about money saved up, spending money in secret, or addictive habits like gambling that might affect finances. And this was one of the things, like for me, I've always been financially transparent with whoever that I was with. But, I've had no problem disclosing what my finances were. My first marriage, like I said, I had my shop. I was taking care of bills at the shop and I was taking care of bills at the house. So I had two sets of bills that I was taking care of. And it wasn't nothing to me because I had it. So I could pay for everything or whatever the case may be. Whatever she had, you kick to the table. But with her, she never told me like how much she was getting for child support. She had like an accident and stuff like that. She ain't tell me how much the accident thing was, and like I said, I didn't pay attention to that until later on because I had my own money and I was basically taking care of everything. So, but she was not financially, she was not financially transparent like I was. And this is like a big thing. A lot of people can give up their bodies, but when it comes to their money, hey, that you ain't gonna be able to get that. So that's why, in the relationship I'm in now, everything is transparent. We got joint accounts. We trust each other. And that's what it comes down to. We trust each other, and we're doing great. We, you know what I'm saying? So if she got some problem, I mean, whatever money comes, it comes out the whole kitty, because we're building together. So we trust each other. So this is important, man. Like, if you don't trust each other with money, then you really don't completely trust each other, man, for real. That's how I look at it.
I agree. And that goes under the umbrella of, if you have to hide it, there's an issue. Someone says, hell no, I'm not sharing the money. I got to share you with friends. You're willing to have sex outside the home. Now the money is a total fail.
Damn.
I mean, I don't mind it. She is not a plan. I personally, I am all for transparency. Did you see that dating her?
Oh yeah, I knew she was an honest person. I could just tell by me listen, I've dated so many different personality types that it's easy for me to recognize somebody that's genuine. So when she came, when me and her first started, we just clicked immediately. Our energies matched. Everything was I just knew that this was the person for me, because there was no weaknesses between us. And I'm telling you, it just happened just like that. And I just knew, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, and that's why people, they ask me like, well, you know, why you call yourself the love doctor and all this stuff. It's not an ego thing or nothing like that. But I've been through it. Like I said, in my lifetime, I've been through highs and lows. I've been married. I've been divorced. I know how it feels that when I've hurt people. I've been chunky. I've been slim. You know what I'm saying? People have considered me, you know, fine. People have considered me fat before and all that. So I know where you coming from for wherever angle that you are in your life, basically. Because like I said, I've been broke as a broke, where I ain't have no money. And you know what I'm saying? And you know, I couldn't get employment because of my record. And I had to think my way out of the situation. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I you know, that I've been through that I can offer, you know, to other people. Because like I said, the goal in life really is to be happy. And if you're not happy, no matter if you're married or whatever, then your value of life is low. You know what I'm saying? You want to be happy. If you are happier being by yourself, then hey, do your thing. But I'm just telling you, if you find that right person that can give you everything you are, compliment you on all your positivities and things like that, then you will multiply and become way greater than you ever could have done by yourself.
I agree. Two point of view. So my grandmother, 1933, right, Great Depression, she was a firm believer in, you don't show a man how much money you make, and in fact, you take his check and you pay the bills. And then you give him a little spending money, right? And so my grandma was always about that. That the homely, they look that make them honest stereotype. The homely, they look that make them honest stereotype. I got to work on that one. But she was about that. She was about, I have a question. If a woman's saying that they want the man to make $500K a year and he is paying for everything, does he have the right to have multiple women? Remember, it depends on what the conversation up front. I don't think that just because you make money that you get certain inalienable rights. If you're in a relationship with somebody and you both, I know that. What? Go ahead.
Let me answer that.
Sure.
Since we're living in a capitalist society and very few people are making over $500K a year, then the person that you're dating, their tolerance is going to be a lot higher for your misgivings. So if you are making $500K a year and she know that you're cheating, she ain't gonna find too many other people that's making that. So she might put up with your stuff. But again, that's not really true love. That's kind of like if she's not in agreement to that, that can almost be semi-abusive, because you know she's sticking around and becomes toxic, because she's just really sticking around because you got money and you dogging her, basically. You having all these different women and you know, and you doing your thing. And like I said, just be single if you're gonna do that. Just be single and just wait till you're ready to get married. You know, because you know millionaires do that. I mean, yeah.
Well, if you're making over 500,000 and she allows you to cheat, you have to understand that she don't love you. She just with you for your money. So if you're okay with her being with you for your money, that means that if you don't make 500K a year, she's out. So
that's true. It's conditional. That's right.
There's a lot of women. I understand, because there's some women like, do I be with someone who makes 30K and cheat on me, or do I be with someone who makes 500K and cheat on me? Obviously, the 500K makes it more honest and makes it better. But also, you know, if you don't want someone to cheat on you, they will do someone like that. Ruby D and Ozzy Davis made money, wasn't really cheaters. He loved her, didn't like cheating on her. They had an open relationship. Right. So,
wow.
But
all right, guys. Hey, that's the time. Listen, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and being a part of this conversation. We're going to do this every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure y'all tune in. And please, like I said, go in and like and subscribe to the channel. We're building it up. We're going to keep getting better and better. We're going to have guests. We're going to do a lot of things. We got plans. Please make sure y'all like and subscribe to this channel. And we appreciate you guys coming in and listening to it.
Thanks for
You
going,
got any
guys.
closing thoughts? You want to make some plugs?
Yeah, check me out 9 o'clock on my page. Be a better person, be a better me. We're gonna go over what happens when a white lady calls the police on the black kids in their neighborhood and does it go the way that you think it goes. Check me out on YouTube. Be better be me is the name. That's all.
All right. Okay, y'all. Like I said, thanks again. We will see y'all next week, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Peace.